We've had a few legends in the car with us. We've had AMC.
Someone. You got your belt on?
Oh, sorry, mate.
Ole.
A little bit of a beat.
I'm from fucking England, mate. Like, you don't wear your belt. I studied for years to.
Well, tell us. No, tell me. I want to know. What did you study?
I didn't fucking study nothing. I didn't really go to school.
What were you like at school? Were you naughty?
I wasn't naughty. I just questioned everything. I used to question my teachers about everything, and they'd shout at me for questioning them, which I still don't think is right. I basically got suspended 13 times, right? And the reason I got suspended so many times is because I wouldn't tell my mum. They stupidly gave me a letter to take home to my mum and dad, basically to go and get in trouble. So
you just cut them off. Cut them off at the corner.
I just fucking threw the letter in the bin, right? But then what I'd do is my mum and dad, they had this thing. They'd drop me to school because they knew I wouldn't go otherwise. But I'd wait for them to leave, and I'd go, and then I'd just go home because they were both at work. And I'd go home, make records all day, and then go back to the school. And then they'd come and then they'd pick me up because they knew they thought I'd been there all day. Like how I did it for so long is beyond me. And this is 6 years before I met Benga, 5 years before I met Benga. So this was early. This was after I found Music 2000, the PlayStation game.
Is that where you started making your music on PlayStation?
Yeah. There's like a drill trap crew from UK called Section Boys. Their eldest brother was a friend of mine who I knocked about with, and I walked into his room once and he was making fucking songs on the PlayStation. I'm like, nah, because everyone I knew, like from the record store, like Artwork and everyone, they had big studios. I walked in on this boy. It sounds like he was wanking, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, are you going to tell me a wank story?
Nah, but I walked in and he was making tunes and I was like, nah man, it can't be that. I didn't even have a PlayStation, my brother did, and then I went and got this Music 2000, nicked my brother's PlayStation and started making tunes.
That's so sick. What the hell?
To be honest, you know, when I look back at it, like, it's actually quite insane.
You grew up like South London, Croydon.
Yeah.
That's where you met Benga and Artwork.
So the record shop I worked in was owned by a guy called John Kennedy. Artwork had the studio above the record shop, which is where he made Daniel Bedingfield, Gotta Get Through This. And a little fact, I'm assuming you don't know, I made the official Nokia ringtones for Daniel Bedingfield, Gotta Get Through This, for loads of songs.
Like the polyphonic.
Yeah. I made them officially for him at the time.
What?
Yeah, I didn't.
Were the royalties alright on that?
I didn't know about fucking royalties at the time. It's like I've been thinking of it recently, but it was like fucking whatever. But I used to hang around the record shop when I was suspended from school. Basically, I hung around for so long, and they just said, "Look, if you're gonna fucking be here all the time, get behind the counter." It was the best thing ever as a kid. Like I never knew what I was into. It was only when I broke into my brother's room to I used to just scratch his records and like fucking ruin his records. He hated me for it, but. Eventually, I remember I was speaking on the phone with a girl one night, we're talking like fucking house phone. Yeah. Like speaking for hours just to a girl in your class. I was playing songs in the background just for my own benefit, and then there was a song that just made us go, "Fuck, man, what was that?" And it made my heart do this little flutter. Like,
what was it? Do you remember?
It was Sunship, Try Me Out.
Let me lick it.
It's still to this day when I hear it, it makes, like, I've got to be careful. I'm getting a bit older, man. Like now, if I feel a flutter, I might fall over. Do you know what I mean? But I told my teachers I wanted to be in music. They said you won't be into nothing because you're a loser. Like that's actually true. That's funnily enough, my friend bumped into the same teacher who told that to me in the fucking clap clinic. It was like the absolute. It made my life. Because he was a fucking arsehole. Who says that to a kid? I've got kids, right? Yeah. If anyone said that to my kid, like who the fuck says that? You know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry, I will stop swearing. We are in New Zealand. We are in New Zealand, man. Like I find it's really hard to not swear in New Zealand. Good cunt. Where we're from, people used to take the piss. Like people still take the piss now. They're like, oh, DJ. What? People thought I was just trying to avoid real life. I suppose I was, and I still am. Because it's real life shit. But my mum and dad especially, they were like, look, you need a backup. I'm like, no, I don't need a backup. Like, I don't need a backup. Like, this is what I'm doing. And they're like, no, you need a backup. I'm like, well, no. Like, I'm telling you, this is what I'm gonna do. Luckily, thank fuck, I ended up actually doing it. My dad, was quite a scary fucker, he rang Artwork one day and was like, I didn't know this, I did not know this until we was doing Magnetic Man. So this is about 15 years later, I didn't know he'd rang Artwork and said, listen, is he wasting his time? And they were like, no, he's not wasting his time. Like, seriously, like, they're terrified at the other end of the phone. And fucking, now I'm sitting in a car in New Zealand.
Yeah. I want to talk about your earliest dance music memory.
My school disco. Me and my friend had a dance routine to Unlimited No No. And I still can do it now, yeah, but it's basically what shufflers do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, it's shuffler dance.
Yeah.
Like, we used to do that, like we used to have like crowds around us and like,
the accordion shuffle.
But we got the dance more or less from Informer. For some reason we put these glasses on and we go fucking do this dance, and this dance is now synonymous with me. Like, I do it everywhere. That's the one where I was like, yeah.
So, Backseat Bandits, the theme is going to be unexpected whips. So, tunes that are just unexpectedly so banging on a dance floor that you just can't
And
stop.
I'm really sorry not to cut you off, but you have got the absolute king of this shit right here. Right, so, Style Council, shout to the top. And I'll tell you stories after, yeah?
Right.
It's the best song ever, man. It's the best. Ah, mate. The cool change ain't even happened yet. Right, here we go. Hey. It's the best, it's the best. We're gonna shout to the top. So good, man. So it makes my hair stand, look. It makes my hair stand every time. We're gonna shout to the top. We're gonna shout to the top. Shagger.
A scream that is like a big fucking injection of endorphins.
I honestly see, and like, I've been a big Paul Weller fan. Like, I managed to meet him at Exit Festival in Serbia. Like, me and Benga closed after Guns N' Roses. Like, check that. And I took the piss out of Axl Rose at the airport the next day, calling him a wizard because he had a stupid hat on. It's a true story.
Were you still steaming?
I was absolutely mad with it, mate. but I met Paul Weller, and he went to every dressing room to say hi to like artists and stuff. But he walked in and was like, hi mate, I'm Paul. And I was like, as if you've got to introduce yourself. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like a barber walking into a pub again, what's happening, I'm a barber, as if you don't know who it is. And he come in, I shook his hand to that, and later that night, Johnny Rotten, fucking dickhead, turned up and was an absolute dick and shut their backstage off, said no artists were allowed in their dressing rooms, they wanted the whole backstage. And you know when you're like, I've met Paul Weller 6 hours ago and he's the absolutely soundest fuck on the world. And then Johnny Rotten turns up and was like, no one's allowed back here. And like, it's like, what? Because what, you think that we might tell that you can't sing? like he's absolute, Johnny Rotten's absolute, he's like my absolute bane of life. Like, I think the Sex Pistols was the worst thing ever. But anyway, that's a whole, I'm going to upset so many people saying that, but. You see what we just done there, playing like these alternative after party weapons?
Yeah.
Me and Jack Master had a place in Ibiza in 2014. I could fill you with like alternatives for days. I'm talking days.
We kind of came across this theme, because that boiler room back to back with Disclosure, when you drop Arctic Monkeys, and when it just flips the place on its fucking head. the looks of it,
they
hadn't
had
really
they
planned
had
any of that.
They had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, listen, bear in mind, at that point, I'd been around for let's say 12 years at least. If it's 20 years now, it must have been at least 12 years. They were young. I'd been out like for a couple of days. I turned up there. Everything up until that point was great. And then I got there and it was like, I was still, I wouldn't say early in playing house, techno, whatever, but I played what I wanted.
Yeah.
Like I played like Aretha Franklin, Get It Right.
Yeah, it was so
I mix it loose, but like I didn't care at the time listening, but I can't believe how big that boiler room's gone.
Oh.
Because I was mixing terrible. But the aesthetic, like when I watch myself, I can't watch myself, it makes me cringe, but at the same time, like, yeah, that's Skream.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you do what you want. Like, they were actually like, look, bless them. They must have thought, what the fuck is going on here? I turned out and playing like, we frankly Get It Right, then playing like Shadow Child records, and then like, I didn't, like, it wasn't planned. I played Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
I love Arctic Monkeys. Luckily,
Yeah.
I've worked with Alex Turner and I've produced a record for Miles Kane. I don't think anyone expected me to play Arctic Monkeys and crowd surfing in the presidential suite at W Hotel, so.
I don't think anyone expected you to jump on the mic and say, I once fingered a bird to this.
First time I fingered was to this.
That's true story. No, that song is Stephen Emmanuel, Colours, Hold On, SE25 mix. It's that is true. I was a garage kid. That is true. My missus absolutely fucking hates it. She's like, what? No, because the things my son's getting older now as well.
Shit.
So I'm like, just don't watch anything. Because he's got me and my friends watching interviews the other day. There's so many interviews where people used to like pounce on me out of nowhere. I can be stone cold sober and people will say he's smashed. Like, but that may be because people don't know me normal. Or they think they know, like, and I don't know. But it's quite annoying, that side of things. But the Disclosure boiler room, I was absolutely smashed.
It's
For the record.
hands down our favourite. Like, whenever we're rinsing, whenever we're having after parties, we put your Disclosure boiler room
people
on.
put it on at after parties, and I feel so awkward.
Nah, I love
because
it.
like, I know they're.
Oh, if you're there.
No, you know when I'm there, yeah, but I'm older. Like, and I'm rolling with some like older dudes, like proper like serious guys, and you're like, they're like, is that you? I'm like, nah.
Definitely not.
Yeah, like I'm not allergic to feathers either. Like, that was absolutely, I made that up in my head on the night. You know, when the pillars are going, I was just on a wind up. I was awake from boiler room, then for another about 6 days when I got to Miami. Literally, they were looking for me in Miami. Like, I turned my phone off and just went. Like, I was fucking Pete Diddy's house at one point, and I was like, I was on one. And like, they rang Jackmaster. This is the funniest thing ever. This will be on my grave, I think. They rang Jackmaster, like all my American management. Shouts to teamwork. And they rang Jack because they know, like, we're his best friends, and they was like, have you heard from Ollie? And he's like, no. Like, well, we're all worried about him. And he went, how long's he been missing? They went 4 days. He went, call me after a week, and then I'll put some effort in. He's like he could turn up at any point, and like, if it's over a week, I'll start to worry. It got to 6 days. True story, man. Jackmaster's fucking.
Is that collab coming out anytime soon?
Yes. It's coming out on Circa Loco and / Rockstar games.
Tune, absolutely.
Mate, it's. Do you know what? I'm fucking sick of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Really? Can you
Well,
give it to
no,
me then?
it's.
Seen it my way,
Listen, let's just search it online. Like, there's so many people who've got it who I give it to. It fucking drives me up the wall. Stresses me out so much. I sit on a lot of music, but this one's like, everyone wants it. Like, there's not a day goes by that I don't get 4 messages like, oh, attention deficit coming out. It's getting annoying now because I'm still releasing stuff from 2019. 3 collabs with Route 94.
Sick.
Then I've got a really big record with Richie Blacker. I've got this bootleg that I've done of a Danny Brown record that I wanted to play on the breakfast.
Is that the one? Yeah. The other morning,
I wanted to play on the breakfast show. Yeah.
What's to go with swearing? And I was like, well, it is 9:30 AM, but like, what is it? Like, we can.
The track's called fucking Pussy Eater. Like, it's like.
Oh my god, sick!
But
I was
then,
like, as soon as you said Danny Brown, I was like,
at the moment,
maybe swerve the song.
At the moment, it's a bootleg, but it's he fucking retweeted it with flames.
Take it off, baby.
over, let me see it. You're looking for a real pussy eater, I could be it.
And I've met him like years ago at the Mad Decent Block parties. But there's that, I'm sitting on so much stuff like this year. I say it every year, but I'm hoping it all gets out this year because it's starting to do my head in how much music I'm sitting on. Started taking with Prosper Boys the other day, which is fire.
Do you want to hear my after party tune? My unexpected.
It better be good because isn't like
you're getting out.
You get kicked out of after parties if you don't play the right song.
All right, well, fucking hear me.
It better not be a dance record either.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Oh, really? No, I can change mine. I've got two.
Oh,
but,
what? I only had one.
Yeah, but I wanted to make sure that we're on the same vibe.
Oh, you're sweating.
Hold on.
She's worried. She's worried.
I want you to know, Ollie, I back myself.
Why are you explaining
100%.
yourself? Why are you explaining yourself so much?
Okay, fuck.
You're definitely scared now.
Okay, nah.
I'll get back on your first one.
Okay, first one. Okay.
It better not be Sandstorm.
It's fucking not. Ollie,
you get out now.
You know me better than that. Me and my boyfriend, we love an after party by ourselves. So this is our tune.
Better be good. Fuck it, alright.
Yeah?
Feels so good. Sneak.
When I'm feeling down, you give me such a vibe. I still
So good.
wanna find you. Everything's so good, and that's what takes me high. It keeps me alive. Oh, touching me so.
I didn't hear you, I just see you going.
A little acidy bird. I love
What's the time? I want to fucking party. It is one of them, isn't it? It's like you've only got good memories attached to it. Great story.
it. Yeah?
I DJ'd at Patrick Topping's wedding, and I played that. He gave me a list of songs he wanted to play, and that was in it.
So, you and your misso, obviously, like dead set legends, always at after parties together. Something pretty cool happened at R&V on stage, and you proposed to her to a song that you'd made for that moment, right?
Well, the thing was, I'd made the record like months and months before, and I think she came in and shouting at me to turn it down, and I said, I'm making this for you, right? No, let's get sweeter, I'm not an arsehole. But it was the lyrics of, you know, I love you baby, I love you baby. I got there, I'd got all Billy Big Bollocks like ahead of the time, messaging the promoters going, yeah, I'm gonna propose to my girl. And I got there, and they'd done all these visuals and stuff, and they kept taking me away from her, and she was like, what the fuck's going on? And they're going, oh no, we just need to speak to them about the lighting. I was like, I'm not doing it. And they were like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm not doing it. And they're going, well, we've gone to quite an effort. I was like, I don't care, I'm not doing it. Because I was nervous as shit, do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know whether she wanted something like that public.
Yeah.
I give the signal, and but the thing is, I looped, you know, right? I'd looped it for so long.
I loved that.
It was
because it got our attention. It got our
attention. No, I didn't do it on purpose. I did it because I was like, the idea was great, but you don't know how what do you do, man? You're on stage and like
the execution. So you got that far.
It was looping for ages. I love it. They must have been sick of you. I love you, baby.
It's stuck in my head.
But the thing is, once the visuals came on, because we prepped the visuals beforehand, it was quite magical. Like she'll never forget. I'll never forget it. She cried for 2 days. Literally cried for 2 days. You know, the actual video that's available, the guy uploaded it to YouTube, right? So it's there, the actual official video. But it's so bad, like it's pitch black. So you just sort of see these figures, and then you see one figure sort of collapse, and then another one pick her up, and then I've got to carry on with the set. I didn't really plan it like, I should have had it as my last one, do you know what I mean? Then I had to go back and carry on my set while she's absolutely weeping.
Well, it was really cool on screen because it was like almost like a present for us on the dance floor as well. We were like, that has just given us the biggest high. It felt like New Year's Eve, you do your first kiss, like for the year.
Yeah.
So like all of us were kissing each other, like, yay, they got engaged.
It felt like everyone was engaged to you.
Yeah.
Do you know the
Yeah, alright, so this one, it's great at 5 AM, just to like a bit of injection of life. I actually played it at rhythm during my set.
Yeah.
I had like a bit of a sunset set. It was just sneakily about a third way in. Electric 6, danger, danger, high voltage.
Good. So many people have ripped this off. So many people. Such an anthem. Such an anthem. So many bands that wouldn't have had hits if it wasn't for that record. Top of my head, Reverend and the Makers, right? There's so many, like, it's like, that has been like a template for like people to fucking rip off and have a big, especially like the early, like say 2008 to 2011, like indie sort of like the real big Enemy sort of scene.
Yeah.
Where it's quite easy hits. You know what I mean? Like
the formula.
Yeah, but it's shit like that. That's a festival banger. Like you want a massive cup of cider. You want your friends wrapped around it. You know what I mean? Going, yes, man.
Yeah. Hey, so tonight we're going to be going deep into the old archives, aren't we? Dubstep show.
Nope. Playing trance.
Psytrance or...
Well, I've got a few fucking stories about Psytrance festivals, but not on camera. No, yeah.
Ollie, you're gonna go deep into the archives.
I am.
And where do you keep all this shit? It's been like 10 to 15 years. Like, where do you store this stuff?
Mate, I had to spend fucking 200 quid yesterday on my back catalogue. True story.
You're joking.
I absolutely am not.
Is that what they call investment? Is that what they?
It's not investment. They're my records.
Is that like a Ponzi scheme? You're buying it, but the money's coming back to you.
I don't get the money. They're on other people's labels.
Oh.
But the time difference, I can't. Like, also, I can't message people going, "Hey, have you got that record I made in 2005?" I was aiming on playing all new 140 because I've got about 75 new dubstep records, right? And then you go through your messages and everyone's like, can you play Dutch Flowers? Can you play Request Line? Can you play the work? Can you? So I've tried to just incorporate it, but the hard thing has been the record, like the dynamics are different, like sound wise. So some records are fucking brand new and sound amazing, and the old ones that are vibey sound awful. So the hardest thing has been getting all the songs to work together, but if Christchurch is anything to go by last night, it's gonna be a good one, mate. There was people crying, mate, last night.
Fucking mean. Backseat Bandits, round 3, done and dusted with old mate Skream. What a bloody party that was.
It's absolutely lovely. I had such a pleasure.
There's basically kick-ons on wheels.
I've just got to say that my alternative song was the best.
Was it?
I'm just throwing it out there.
I also would like to say that I've never felt nervous about my music taste, and you made me feel fucking nervous.
Mate, listen, if you've ever been on the tour bus with us, like, you would have got kicked off.
Oh my god, don't put that in, it's so embarrassing.
We're going to the pub.